Okay. I thought it would be really nice to start as we're a few weeks in now. Glenda's actually selling her house, so she's got a viewing. I thought it would be nice just to go around and see how you're all doing. So just check in, like we've just been doing. We can just check in. We've had lots of wins in the group this week. Progress is going on. Yes, a lot of you guys are not necessarily on the call, but a lot of people within the course are taking it slowly, which is great, or feeling slightly overwhelmed by a few things, which again is a good thing. It's not a bad thing. Like, it's good to feel overwhelmed because you want that to push you forward to take things slower, but also that you're learning, you know, you're actually putting effort into it and you're learning and you're taking things out of it. Overwhelm is not a nice feeling, but it's a good feeling because it means that you're determined and you're motivated to push your business forward and to take on all of the learnings. Sarah Nelson, do you want to just give us a bit of an update on where you're at? If there's any questions that you have at the moment, that'd be great.
Halfway through module 2, I did 2 of the Canva videos yesterday. Nice. My Facebook banner didn't fit my Facebook banner space, so I don't know if I've got the measurements wrong.
No, Facebook banner, for some reason on Canva the dimensions aren't correct. I'll put the dimensions in the group for you so you can actually do custom dimensions. I don't know why they've done that in Canva. They don't even have a Facebook group banner either in there, which would be really, really useful. Yeah, I'll pop the new dimensions in.
Oh, brilliant. And think. Oh, and from all the stuff we're doing with the branding, and I want to overhaul everything. So I'm going to wait until the end, yeah, and then take it from there.
Yeah, because in the coming weeks we've got the website module, which you know, dives into the branding on your website as well. And then you've got the SEO section, which is important for your branding too, and the keywords that you're using and things like that. So it is important, I guess, to go through each of them. And when you're thinking of a big rebrand, to take everything and then put it in at the end. I think that's a good way around of doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you currently feel then about your brand, and how does it not reflect you at the moment now after you've kind of watched that training?
Yeah, I think when I was doing my website, I went to a guy I was referred to, and I was like, these things, please could you do? And whereas now I'm like, oh, I should have sat down with some colours and some shapes and things that I really liked and layouts that I wanted and been more clear. And I think I tried to come across as what I thought people would want to hear rather than maybe more me. And now I'm feeling a bit more, oh no, it's all right, I can say those things. So yeah,
a bit more confident with, you know, the fact that you can be yourself.
And yeah,
being yourself is the most important thing. Will stand you out from everybody else in that respect. So brilliant. Oh, I'm glad you've come to that, you know, revelation, and you're ready to take it on.
Yes.
Brilliant. Do you have any questions about anything that's going on, or you want to discuss anything?
I think I wrote some questions down, but I don't know where I've put them, so I will look through, and when I find them, I'll come at you.
Good stuff. How about you, Nikki?
Oh, hi. Yes, well, I'm still on module 2, but I've gone through all of the branding. But to be honest, when I actually set my website up, I'd done nearly all of this myself. So I'd already found the colour palettes that I really liked. I designed my own logo, which is a butterfly, which is very much, you know, resonate with. And so I'm really comfortable with actually how my website looks. I'm going to be reviewing some of the actual wording and the content, but I'm, you know, adding in videos and things like that, which is a lot easier, I think, for clients to actually just press play and, you know, but I'm going to do a video on each page rather than just on the home page. I've done one on the home page and one on the destination weddings, but I'm going to do one on the actual weddings page, baby namings, just so, you know, if couples or if families or clients are not wanting to actually sit and read, they can actually just press play and just listen to it, and everything's there for them. So I'm going to do that. I'm pleased with how my website's looking, but part of I think it was module 1 was getting clients or people to comment on it, and I keep asking people and no one's really giving me feedback. So any of you want to have a click on my website and let me know, I'd be really, really grateful for any feedback. But I really like the layout. I'm really comfortable with it. I think it's very warm, and it does reflect me, I think. So that's good. Yeah, so I'm really pleased with that. And also doing my hero couple exercise, my Craig and Becky, I'm dying to meet them. And in fact, I think I've got a couple on Saturday, and they sound exactly like Craig and Becky. So I'm really, really excited about them. And there's so many last minute weddings coming through. I've had 3 inquiries this week for weddings within 3 or 4 months, which is pretty last minute, I think, considering some people plan 2 years ahead. So yeah, so it's all go really, which is great. And also the styled shoot that I mentioned last week, that's definitely going ahead, and I do want a little bit of advice on that, because they've sent me through a colour palette. So I'm assuming that means I've got to get a dress in that colour palette, because I'm assuming I have to be dressed according to that, rather than my colours, which I would normally wear. I've got to blend in with them, and they're like the beiges and the nudes colours, which I don't wear. I wear colour. So that's I'll just leave the tags in.
Totally leave the tags in. I'm doing it today. No, with the colours, you remember that you don't necessarily have to be that colour. You could be a tone of that colour. So you could go, a lighter tone, as long as you blend in. You don't have power colour. And also, you don't have to have brand colours on every single shoot, because you'll use the images for different purposes. They don't necessarily need to be images that go on your website. They could be images that you use when you put blogs out there and things like that, or on your social media. Colours, but you could always tone that down to a colour that suits you or suits.
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, all their colours are very neutral colours. So they're, as I say, nudes and creams and beiges and that sort of really soft pink and things, which I don't wear, but that's fine, because they want me to be in it. And I'm assuming I don't wear a pattern, I wear a plain colour. So I'm going to have to go shopping, I think, and just leave the tags in and just take it back afterwards, because it's not going to be something I'm going to wear. But
yeah. No, and again, if you keep it quite plain anyway, it works with any of the marketing that you do then anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's great. That's exciting.
Yeah, and it's a really big shoot. I mean, they've got the full bride and groom, and they're literally dressing the whole venue, and it's like going to be a proper ceremony shoot. So it's going to be great.
Where is it?
It's a new venue nearby to me, and they're actually building this huge barn and overlooking the North Downs. It's absolutely incredible. It's the Botley Hill Barn. It's the new one. It's not built yet. I mean, it's going to be finished in June when the shoot is taking place, and I've got their second wedding there in July, so I'm really looking forward to that. That would be great.
Fantastic connection too going forward. Fantastic.
Yeah,
brilliant. So good to hear.
Good.
Brilliant. Wendy, you on?
I am on. I'm only on for a quick bit. I've got guests. This week has been a bit of a nightmare for me. I've got guests staying with me, and it's really difficult, but I've been getting up at the crack of dawn to do a little bit, and then we're going out for the day today, and then I'll come back and do stuff tonight.
Great. And how are you getting on then?
Yeah, not bad. I've been doing the LinkedIn 5-day challenge, which has really taught me a lot on LinkedIn. I'm just starting module 3. I've watched some of these social media videos. As a social media virgin, God, it freaks me out all the things you have to do. So I am going to take your advice and probably just stick to 2. And I'm thinking about coming off Twitter, because it's just constant on Twitter. And if you're not sitting there all the time responding, I think it could be an absolute nightmare. So I'm thinking of just leaving my platform live, up, but just putting on there saying, because I'm busy with my business, I'm coming off Twitter for a while, but maybe catch me on LinkedIn and this.
Nice, good idea.
So I'm looking at that. So yeah, no, it's all going well. Pleased
with your shoot?
I was really pleased with it, and she was such a lovely lady. came via a recommendation. I was just talking to someone saying, I'd had photographs done, and lovely photographs, but very traditional Spanish and not what I wanted. So she said, oh, well, so-and-so, and that was it. I was up there within a couple of days, and she was just lovely. So she will be coming to my first wedding to take photos of me while I'm working. And she was lovely, really put me at my ease. And in every photograph, I said to my husband, I look like Margot out of The Good Life, because I'm just laughing all the time. But I think I look like Margot, so I'm going to have to do something about that look.
They look great, and then next week, obviously, you'll have your new website up and running.
I know, I'm really excited because it'll look fabulous once those pictures are on. I didn't like the others of me because they were a bit pixelated and it looked a bit pimply, but no, it'll look fabulous. I'm really excited.
Yeah, Wendy's having her new website obviously done, launched next week, but she has a unique style to her website, so it's going to be an exciting launch, I think. She's having a one-pager basically, which we'll show you next week, introduce you to kind of a new style of website, very modern style of website, and you're very pleased with it, aren't you, Wendy?
I love it. I love the look of it. I've been looking at everyone else's blurb and their text, and mine is different, and it will be even more different, because I think as I start to work, I will tweak it and make it a bit more me. It's very in my old legalized style at the moment, but I need to get it live, so I'm going to go with it. And as I get more confident doing videos on Facebook and get used to that, and people get used to seeing me like that, then I'll go in and update the blurb as I go along and make it a bit more me, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But I need to get used to it, because I'm so used to, you don't do this, you don't go near social media, you don't, I just don't use it. So it's something very new for me.
Yeah. And I think for you, you've got a lot going on, and at the moment, having people over and then trying to build your business and things like that. I think the whole reason for this course is to break it down. And for you, I feel, just break these things down even smaller and make sure you've got that schedule in place, so that you're just going to focus on one area each month. Because I think it's so easy to just try and pile everything into 1 month and try and be a pro at everything. I think that would just take the pressure off your shoulders if you think, right, for this next month, I'm just, your website's up and running. So now we're going to focus on, how am I going to promote this website? What means am I going to use to promote this website? And then focus on that for the next 2-3 weeks. Yeah,
I think you hit the nail on the head there when you said about be perfect, because I put a lot of pressure on myself that everything I do, it's got to be perfect. And so then I find I'm spending too much time and it doesn't happen, because I want it to be like this. And like in the beginning, I said to you, well, can I do this, because I haven't got my website, I haven't got my business cards, I haven't got this. And I feel like everything should be perfect, all the ducks should be in a row, and wait until it's there, and then you do that one next step. But that's not the case.
No, not at all. Not now. There's free resources. There's other ways of promoting yourself now, using Facebook or social media, to promote yourself. You don't really need that website, or you're just reaching out, talking to people. You are your brand, it's where you know yourself makes the difference. I'm only just 8 months into starting to promote my coaching, only just working on my website. So I don't even have a website. All my social media, all my getting out there, networking, speaking, workshops, that's all done without the website. So it just shows you, the power of all the other marketing resources outside of the website. So absolutely, if you don't have a website, if anyone doesn't have a website, use all of the other platforms that are available to you, even the free or cheap directory sites give you the ability to market yourself and give you a link. It gives you a link to people if they want to find out more information about you. But yes, anyway, you're nearly there with that chunk of marketing, so be exciting to get up. And then
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
SEO portion will be very good for you. I have basic SEO training in the membership area, and I'm having slightly more intermediate advanced SEO training, which I'm going to be adding in the next 2 weeks. So there'll be time then going through in the future to just start with the basics and then slowly, you know, pick up more and more skills with the SEO side of things, which is, you know, vitally important to the group.
Perfect. And I've been keeping in touch with Sarah in Rhodes, because we're the two that seem to be right out in the middle of nowhere. So we're sort of talking to one another because we're the other side of the world.
Yeah, we've got a little group going over there.
Good.
A little support group we have to help each other. We're trying.
That's really good to hear. It's really good to hear. And do use the group, you know, do reach out to me too if there's anything, you know, extra you want to talk about or go through.
Okay, lovely.
Okay, thank you, Wendy.
Right, I'm going to pop off now, ladies. It was lovely to see you all, and I will see you next Friday.
Okay, we'll see you soon.
Have a fab day. Bye.
Bye. Now you're back, Glinda. Do you want to give us a bit of a update on where you're at, and if you've got any questions?
Oh, ideal house purchasers come for 7 days and want to find a house from Singapore. Yes, but I don't know whether they like it or not. They never said. And I just saw the back of them going out the door. Right, yes, I rather think of this as a hose pipe with all those settings on. There's a jet one and there's a spray one. And I feel I've got it on a wide spray where I've touched into everything. I've looked at every video on all the modules except the training ones on this last one. I haven't looked at LinkedIn and I haven't looked at Pinterest yet because, yeah, it is overload at times. So with this scatter, I'm dipping in and I'm finding that, yes, I'm adding to my ideal customers, couple. I'm adding to, you know, things about me. I'm adding to all sorts of things we've done in module 1, 2, and 3. And I sit down and think, I'm going to do this. And then something pops up and I sort of go off at a tangent. And I think, oh God, I'm in LinkedIn now, or what's happening in LinkedIn? And then someone reaches out and I deal with LinkedIn and I think, oh, I started sitting here thinking I was going to do that. But actually, being spiritual, I think, well, that's the way I'm meant to be. Let's go with it, go with the flow. There's a couple of questions that I've written down, and I was checking all my social media statistics, what they were, what was behind, what was going on. And I've sort of got a question. I know you said the statistics on Facebook aren't always the same, but something popped up that said my posts this week, I suppose it is, have reached 386 people, and I've had 257 engagements and 12 new page likes. And I'm thinking, I don't know what that means.
That's good.
Other than I've got 12 new page likes, which is wonderful, but this is changing and it wasn't consistent. So I'm just thinking, well, what does it all mean?
Yeah, well, that will change on a daily basis. When people, the 300 and something, which said at the beginning,
The people reached
is how many people it's been in their feed. So it's reached a lot of people.
right.
The impressions, did you have lots of likes on that post?
It was there were 4 posts, and this was an analysis of all of them for the week, I think.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So that's likes, that's shares, that's comments.
Yes. Yeah.
Something. It's even people staying on that post for a while or clicking through, depending on what activity that post was asking.
So it's been on 386, well, it's just a figure, streams of different people. So what does the word engagement mean?
That's something, people doing something with it, liking it, sharing it, commenting on it, clicking on it.
Okay.
But it may be more than, so it says that, but it may be that they've seen different ones. So you've got 300 and something, but that may be more than, they may have seen it more than once.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it seemed good, but I thought, oh, that's nice. That sounds like good numbers, but I didn't understand why they were there.
Yeah,
Can I
12 page likes. It's really good. Really good.
Can I suggest something? Because Glenda, if you go into your Facebook business page and you go into insights,
Yes.
talking about, then that tells you each of your posts, how far it's reached and how many have engaged with it. That means, you know, how many people have responded to it.
I mean, I have done that each time I do a particular post, especially the Instagram ones. And yes, it's not very reassuring when there's just a 5 on it or a 6.
I don't know what a good percentage is. I mean, with the last one,
No.
I boosted one. I know we're not supposed to, but I boosted one just to see, because it was one that I thought might resonate with people, and that reached 4,500 people and engaged 480. So that's 10%. That's not. Yeah, so that's not bad.
It's good, but it's who are you targeting? Who are these people, and are these ideal?
Yeah.
Well, they were all. I used it so it was sort of weddings, engaged couples, you know, blah, blah. So I'd actually specifically, you know, targeted my audience.
It's too big. Your audience is just too big, and it's not necessarily people that are getting married, or it may be people that were interested in weddings way back. It's too big to target, so never choose that weddings one or engagements, because again, it's too big. You can drill down a lot smaller, so we'll work on that. But yeah, you know, try out these boostings, you know, give them a go, but just be very wary of who you're selecting, because we don't want to be wasting your money.
And I did a like a radius, like a, I don't know, 20-mile radius around where I live, or 40-mile radius, so I knew that it was just people nearby. So I was talking about a venue, so it would be one that they could reach, you know, so that they might know. So
and you have to look at the placements as well, so suggest only doing a placement within your feed and unticking everything else, because otherwise they'll spread your ad far and wide, and then not a lot of people want, you know, I don't know about you, but there are some ads in your messenger and you're probably more likely just to scroll through them. There's some ads then that they'll place on Instagram where you may not want them, or ads on the site. Like there's techniques to Facebook ads.
I'll hold off boosting.
Yeah, I just wouldn't want people money.
But it's so easy to do. It's so easy.
That's $20
Not the button and not realise you've done it sometimes.
But it costs you money.
Yeah. That's Facebook. So I wouldn't want you to, you know, use your money there until, you know, you're confident with what you're putting through, and then you're getting results from it.
Okay.
Not that I'm telling you off. That sounds like I'm telling you off.
No, I just thought I'd just see. I haven't done it for a month because I added up. It was module 1. It was adding up how much you've spent on your advertising. And I was like, oh God, that's too much. I've not got anything back for it.
Yeah,
but this was one particular post I thought might resonate. So, and it, you know, it has had quite a lot of, you know, engagement in that people have been commenting on it. So you never know.
For me, just as an example, when I first started the Celebrant Directory, so back in 2018. 17, I can't remember now, one of those. I spent thousands on Facebook ads and didn't do the right thing at all. And then it wasn't until I had an ad specialist come in and teach me how to do Facebook ads that ads started to work for me.
Right.
Because I was using weddings, you know, and weddings, when you type in weddings, it has something like millions. And you know, that's just not going to reach your target market. But if you drill down and type in things like Rock and Roll Bride, for example, you can target people that have liked Rock and Roll Bride, you know, and there you're more of your target market. If that's your ideal client, are reading and loving Rock and Roll Bride, you can drill down in smaller. There's Green Wedding Shoes, Style Me Pretty. There's a few wedding blogs like that you can target. It's all dependent on the size of their audience.
Right. Okay.
So you can't pull up every single blog, if that would be good, or you can't target the groups, unfortunately. That would be even better. But there are, I'll send you, we'll do some Facebook training. I'll add a date in, and then I'll send you a list of the ones that you could use and target.
Okay.
But of course it's regional too, which drills it down. There's only, I can't remember the amount, but there's a certain amount that you want to aim for. You know that there's that meter thermometer thing, you need to be in the green, and I think it needs to be around 12,000 and less, and that's difficult to get to, so you rarely get to that, but you do need, you know, a very, very good targeted ad will be around 12,000 and less. But yeah, we'll work on some of that together. Yes, Glenda?
Looking back at blogs, am I in time sync? I seem to be out of...
No, you're right.
Perfect.
Okay, well, it's not responding as I am. Anyway, blogs, Jennifer. I was in my local town and I went into a number of the venues that do weddings and asked whether they would mind featuring in a blog, because I remember you saying do 5 places wherever, you know, locally. Now, do I need permission for these, or do you just do it and put it in? I didn't know the courtesy of mentioning in blogs.
You can just mention them, yeah?
Yes, but if the blog is specifically, I haven't done it, it's only a thought in my head, it might not even happen. But if the blog is about 5 really lovely places in my area, and one of them I've not been to, but I think it's still lovely and I can never get hold of the person, is it still all right to sort of list them, say what they do, say how wonderful it is, without... Excuse me, gosh, I don't know where that came from, without actually asking them or telling them that I'm writing about them?
For sure.
That's the point I'm making. I mean, this is hypothetical. I'm just happening to talk in this instant, but it could apply to lots and lots of other blogs that we could do.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is what it's all about. So that's the perfect blog. You know, 5 top venues in your area, and then you're talking about how wonderful their venues are. That's perfect blog for, you know, potential clients, but also perfect blog for you reaching out and networking. So absolutely, you could contact them before and say, I'm writing this blog, you know, all about you. I'm adding you in my top 5 venues. Love you to share it. I'll let you know when I've got it out there. Or you can just contact them afterwards. Share it on Facebook, tag them in on Facebook, send them a message on Facebook, for example, and just say, I featured yours. I love your venue. Please feel free to share my blog. So, I mean, if it's positive, absolutely. You know, I mean, none of us are going to write negative blogs anyway. We don't ever want to put a negative perception out there of anything. So if it's a positive blog, I would absolutely use it as networking potential. So before and after, if you want to.
But there's no courtesy around it.
Well, again, you can contact them before you want to, but I mean, on the Celebrant Directory, for example, we've done blogs about, you know, top 10 venues that have come up in London, for example, and no, we just go for it, and then we.
Okay, good. Yeah, okay.
But yes, absolutely amazing idea. This is the best way to grow your network is by talking about other people and other suppliers within your blogs. Okay, you could even do real weddings. You know, so if you do a wedding, finding out who all the suppliers are, writing a blog about the ceremony, you know, as much information as you feel is okay to put in there, then you can tag all the suppliers in that you work with on the day. Put some pictures in your blog, tag all the suppliers in, tag their web addresses into your blog itself. When you share it on social media, tag them all into the blog as well. It gives them extra links, extra visibility. You're doing a kind thing. They're going to, you know, support you in return.
Sounds easier if they do it and tag me in.
But it's where you start, isn't it? So
yeah.
For so long, you know, some of the big wedding blogs out there were, you know, doing features on real weddings, and then never even mentioning the ceremony or putting the celebrant in there. You know, for so long that happened until, you know, us celebrants would go back and say, hey, you know, we're the most important part of the day, you know, feature us, you know. And then it's not until you start standing up and, you know, drawing attention to it does things change. So if you're starting that off and you know, you only need 300 words, say 300 words on the ceremony, the process, what happened, you know, it inspires people, it makes people feel like, oh, I could have that type of ceremony, I could have that type of wedding. You know, you're showing yourself off, you're showing your skills off, and then you're tagging everyone in and you're sharing that out there too. So you have to think of it in the marketing terms of things. So many people just put blogs out there and leave it, or write about a real wedding and then just leave it. But you think outside the box, well, actually, I could share this and then I could get everyone else to share it who are part of it. And then it's that opens up, it's that funnel, isn't it? Then it opens up to all the potential people who will be in your area as well, because all those suppliers are more likely to be in your area, sharing you and sharing your content, sharing your website, sharing your information. Don't want to say boom again, but boom, you can see how it grows from there.
So I'm assuming you have to get the couple's permission before you write a blog about their ceremony.
Well, this is it. So it's up to you how much content you put in there, how much information you put in there. You could talk about the venue, but you don't necessarily have to talk about the couple if they don't want to share anything. But you could still share your experience of that. You could still share some of their story without sharing their names or things like that. But more likely, 90% of couples won't mind you using the content, as long as you're not sharing too much personal content, more about the process. But yeah, of course, if you're using their images, then get permission.
Okay.
Anything else, Glenda?
I've got like Sarah, I wrote some questions down, but honestly, I started with a little A4 ring binder, and I've now gone to a 4-inch, and it just keeps filling up, and we're on module 4. We've got more to go, so I'm hoping it's all going to fit in, because I'm keeping different pages, and I've now got tabs just for items at the back of it, like blogs and Canva and other things. Yeah, getting there.
Rather you have a massive chunk than just a couple of pages, because it would not be worth it then. So I'd rather you take it all in, and there's so much that you can implement then in the future. Don't have to implement it all now.
But my website is being worked on, and also I'm having to liaise with my web builder, and she said it should be good next week, but to get it out live, and then we can tweak it and use it. And she's really excited by it, but I haven't a clue what she's doing. I mean, I know the colours and she's got all the information.
When I do my websites, I always send the first page first before I go on to anything else. So check in with her, because you don't want her to complete your website and then you've not seen any of it, and then you don't particularly like it.
Oh, I think I like it. It'll be all right. Be good.
Good. Sarah Nelson, you got your questions about Google Analytics. So it's very similar with insights of other social media channels. Your total clicks are obviously people that have clicked through on something through to your website, and the same with the click-through rate. So it depends on what you're putting out there. I've not seen position. It depends what keywords you've plugged in there. That might be to do with your keywords and where you rank on Google. That might be a new thing that's come in, which would be really good if it has, because it's a lot of the ways to find out where you rank. A lot of the systems online you have to pay for.
Okay.
So there's ones like SEMrush, which is and Moz, M-O-Z, where you can go on those websites and you've got a couple of tries before you have to pay. So if you go onto any of those sites, you can type in Celebrant Bristol or whatever, and it will then tell you where you rank. Because obviously with us, when we do it on our own Google, unless we're doing incognitos, it's all about cookies. It's all about where you come up, how many times you've searched for yourself, all that kind of thing. Google likes to tailor it, doesn't it? So I'm not absolute Google Analytics pro, but basically total clicks is going through, and click-through rate is dependent on what you've got out there. So click-through rate would more than likely be when you've got a blog out there or something like that who's actually clicked on it to come through to your site. Total clicks, maybe clicks, I think it's clicks embedded within your website. So if they've gone from the home page through to a weddings page, for example, that's how many clicks are happening internally on your site. And then I would assume position would be where you're ranking, but I'd have to look into that bit.
What's the impressions part again?
That's how many times people have seen your website, not clicked on it, but have seen it. So how many times it's come up on searches. Okay.
Okay. And I wondered about Hootsuite.
About using it.
Yeah, people have told me about it.
Personally, I wouldn't use an external scheduler. I would use what the options are available, the organic options. So I would schedule on Facebook itself. The trouble is, if you use an external scheduler, it comes up posted by Hootsuite, and it's not very personalized then. It looks like, you've sat there, which I recommend you do anyway, sit there on a Sunday afternoon and schedule your posts. But it looks like you've sat there on a Sunday afternoon and scheduled your posts. You see what I mean? So
Yeah.
I personally would do that. If you're using Twitter, there's TweetDeck, which is free, which is an add-on to Twitter where you can schedule everything. So I would definitely use the platforms that are available rather than external ones.
Okay, so Facebook has that, Twitter has TweetDeck.
Yeah.
I think Pinterest has that as well.
Pinterest you have to pay for.
Okay.
Pinterest you have to pay for, and that's called Tailwind. You can get a free version of Tailwind, so it might be worth just going on there and checking it out and scheduling as many pins as you can on the free version of Tailwind. There are resources like Planoly for Instagram that you can use. That's it, isn't it? Whatever. LinkedIn you can't schedule. You have to do yourself.
What was the name for the Instagram one?
Planoly. If you watch the Instagram training, the lady talks you, Adet talks you through that resource, Planoly. Okay.
Awesome.
And did you say something? Did you have something to say?
Oh, I looked at Planoly. I loved it. Really loved it. But I haven't gone back to it. It was just one of those things. Right, let's have a look, delve in, and everything's being delved into. But I've sort of dug myself out of it. But I'm getting a whole picture of everything. I'm a bit like the Ready Steady Cook, where you put all the ingredients on the table and you just think, right, I can see it all now. I understand what they all are. I've got the colour, I've got the shape, and it's a bit like this marketing course. I just like to see it all and know where I'm going to delve into, and then build and grow from there in my own time.
It takes really is deciding on 2 social media channels and really focusing on them first before you go on to any others, because there are different scheduling tools for them, and you're going to get yourself overwhelmed if you're on TweetDeck, Planoly, Facebook scheduling, Tailwind. You're going to get yourself in the right muddle. Or you could pay somebody to help you on Pinterest. Now I would recommend, if you want to focus on your other channels, pay somebody £100 or something a month to look after your Pinterest for 6 months, even just 6 months, and grow it for you, because Pinterest is going to be fantastic for your traffic over to your website. So it's one of those resources that you can actually use to get traffic over to your site. Facebook is brilliant. Facebook is difficult to grow. Facebook is more difficult to get people from your site, from your page over to your website, but Pinterest does a lot of it for you. People are searching for outdoor weddings. If you're getting Pinterest right and getting enough pins on there, somebody looks after it for me at the moment for the Celebrant Directory, and is putting over 100 pins a day, doing 100 pins a day to get me to where I want to be. I'm at about 140,000 monthly views now, and that's just because of the amount of effort that somebody else is putting in for me into Pinterest. So I would recommend, if you're getting the bookings in, or you want to focus on getting people over to your website, which is obviously vitally important, then maybe think about focusing on that as a platform, or getting somebody else to support you on that. You can even go on People Per Hour, if anyone's ever been on that, but there are lots of Pinterest consultants on there. You can just say, I want 3 hours a month focused on Pinterest. A lot of them will just charge you £10, £15 a month just to start working on it for you, just to get it up and running and going. Just an idea, just a thought, outside the box, because obviously there's a lot of other things to focus on. But don't be afraid of investing in other people's expertise.
How can you be sure that they're pinning content?
And you need to ask for a report. So they send me a report every month on exactly what they've done and where they've done it, and you can see your growth.
But how do you know that what they're, because I need to get to grips with Pinterest, but how do you know that they are pinning things that really reflect your company.
It's only in their interest to do that, because obviously you want to grow and they want people to click through on your website, so they're not going to click through if it's irrelevant. So it's in their interest. Plus you can provide them with resources too. They will go through your website, so any blogs and all of the pages, and they'll use that content because it's easier for them to use the content you've already produced. And it's up to you how much you want to put into it. So, and who you choose. Obviously, if you choose someone in deep, dark Bangladesh that's, you know, just doing it because they want, you know, they're not trained in Pinterest, then obviously you're not going to get the quality necessarily. But if you find that person in deep, dark Bangladesh who has that experience and have the reviews and things like that of doing it, then you can put your trust more into it. So, think about the reviews, think about getting testimonials. I'm actually going to be doing a Pinterest workshop masterclass with the lady that does my Pinterest. So, you know, she's obviously a very good person to in as well. So it's, yeah, you have to look at reviews. You have to, you know, put your trust in the person that's doing it for you. But it is in their interest to use your content and use content that's relevant. Otherwise, people aren't clicking through their site, and then you're just going to get, you're just going to dump them because they're not doing a good job.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Brilliant. Any other questions on that? Pinterest, social media? No. Helen, you there?
Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
To see you.
Hi everyone.
Hello.
Hello, hello. I've made it. The baby's asleep.
See you. Excited that you're here.
Yeah.
You've had an amazing week.
Yeah, I have. It took me, as you know, so long to get going because I've had so many balls in the air for about 4 years. And my intention at the beginning, like 4 years ago, was I'd quite like to do this. Let's give it a go. And then I got a booking straight away, and then it all sort of happened. And then in that process, I've also had 3 children, moved house twice, and got a puppy. Don't do the puppy. Don't do the puppy. And my husband, yeah, we just, I was pregnant with my second one. Like only just, I hadn't told anyone, like just on the test, and thought, I need to change my life. This is not gonna work for the next 20 years. So I went and did my training about 6 weeks pregnant, but I had a car crash on the way down there, so I arrived like, ooh, no one knew I was pregnant, so I was in pieces, and Terry, bless her, was just like scraping me off the floor every day, and I was like, I don't know if I've lost it. Ooh. Anyway, all turned out fine. But was juggling the 2 jobs, and then moved house. My husband lost his job, then he broke his foot, blah, 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 blah. So just didn't do any foundations. And then by baby number 3 and house number 2, I was like, I'm not really running my business. My business is running me. And I had no idea. Like at the beginning, when it says, you know, just audit yourself. And I was like, I've got no idea. And I had to go through my diary. I was like, where is my diaries? I don't know. And then I've got like 3 different diaries, and I had a wall calendar, and I've been like Dory trying to find a system, and a system that I can actually follow. So systems are fab. If you don't follow them, you're useless. So I've worked out that if it's in a book, it's dead to me. I just shut it. If it's on the screen, unless I leave that window open, it's dead to me. Then I realised that actually I'm so visual, and it needs to be like there. So I've done my office. Let me show you. My husband built my office for me.
It's office.
Oh, cool.
Wow, amazing.
That's gorgeous.
So I'm dead chuffed, but the baby's asleep upstairs, so I can't use it at the moment. But just having, I've only done like 2 shifts in there, but that it's just completely changed it, because I'm doing one thing at one time.
Yeah.
And it's just made such a difference. But it is the worry of going, what's going to work? I don't know if that's going to work. Oh, okay, I won't do it in case it doesn't work, so I'll do this instead. So I just like went through, and I thought, I've done 85 ceremonies, and I was like, that's quite a lot.
Yeah.
So now it's, because I've had no system at all in anything, no diary system, no accounting system. I just winging it, literally going, someone's phoned for a wedding. Yeah, okay. I don't have any contracts. I have nothing. I've literally just done it on Smiles and Goodwill.
And cash?
Well, hopefully some money.
No, I have been paid, and I am taxed, and I did do that. I was all excited, and I was like, maybe I've paid enough to be taxed. And my husband's like, no, and I haven't. But it's nice to know that at least I'm legal. But that was like a big, like, oh my God, I've registered. I actually officially exist. But going through all that paperwork, so was it? And then my accountant was like, do you have any contracts? I'm like, no. He's like, well, do you have any booking forms? No. I don't have anything. They phone me because they like me. We have a little chat. We meet in the pub. I go around the house. We drink loads of wine. I write it all down. And we're sort of done. And it's great. It's really organic. But what's been interesting going through everything is I'm a real... the men gravitate towards me. I get a lot of the bookings through the fathers of the brides and the grooms that pull their finger out and help. I don't know whether that's because I've got a sports background. So I've done a lot of rugby weddings, and my husband is rugby, and I've done, having brothers. I don't know. The men find me easy to deal with because I'm quite, I like decisive, confident clients because they know what they know and they're secure in themselves enough to know what they don't know. They trust me because they know I know it. So they go, this is what I want. I go, great, I can make that happen. See you in 6 months. They're like, fab. Yeah. And then 6 months later, I see them when we have a wedding. But it's very, as I've broken it down, I'm like, oh, I'm a little bit different.
Yeah, there you go.
But now I need to write some contracts.
Yeah.
But now also,
don't tell anybody.
But also you've now found a niche, right? And you've found a new confidence because you know how many ceremonies you've done, you know how much income you've had from your business.
Yeah.
You know now what next steps you need to take. You've got yourself an office, you've got yourself a scheduling, you know when you're going to go in the office and do your shifts.
Yeah.
It's all coming together.
Because I still need to literally get a wall planner and write what weddings I have this year in case I don't book myself. But hopefully I won't. I know, I can see you panicking. I'm honestly Bridget Jones, edge of reason, fly by the seat of my pants, and it's exhausting. Like the nervous energy I have is exhausting. So I can't do it anymore. It's unsustainable. It's completely unsustainable. I've managed to do it this far, but now we've finished starting the family. I now have the office. My husband accepts that this is now my career and not just something I fancy doing. So in a way, like with Glenda was saying, wanting to get your ducks in order all the time, I kept not doing stuff because I think, well, I haven't done that and I haven't done this. And I just thought, oh, do you know what? Just start. And then I was like, oh, look. And then I was a speaker at the thing the other day. But all the people that were queuing up to talk to me were the men. And I was like, oh. All the women were like, fab, great. But you need to talk to so-and-so because he just gets stuff done. I'm like, okay. So...
But you tell other people about getting stuff done.
Yeah, it's bizarre.
And it is all about just taking that action. That's the most important thing. That's what happened to me back 10 years ago. I just took action. I just thought, screw it. I have a crap website, I have a crap logo that I did myself, with this little bird and this rubbish font. I went for purple because I was like, I'll just go for purple. I didn't think much into it. And I just did it. I just thought,
I did my website at the kitchen table with my sister-in-law.
But as long as you've got it out there, as long as you got your face out there, you're talking to people, you're doing that. You're doing 85 ceremonies without realizing you've done 85 ceremonies.
That's amazing.
I'm sort of quite proud of myself. I'm like,
it should be. And now you're in a place where you can set your times, you can set your shifts. You have to try and possible. I have to be very, very regimented with when I'm working because that pushes me forward. Sometimes it's easy, as mums to be like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll wait another hour, or I'll just do this and then I'll do this. And I find it very distracting if I don't start work at 9. I do Monday, Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays at the moment, and have Wednesdays with my boys, my husband and my little one. I call them my boys now, they're my dependents. If I don't start work at 9, it puts my whole day out. So I have to be very, regimented with that. I have to make sure I'm there at 9. If I don't start till 10, I find it very difficult to continue to get motivated. That's why scheduling is one of the most important things in my life.
Yeah, so that's what I need to make mine, because I'm winging it literally, and it's making everyone else realise that my job is important. But I have to lead by example on that.
Yeah.
If they're like, "Oh, can you come around for coffee?" I'm like, "No, I'm working." They're like, "Oh yeah, but I'll just pop in." I'm like, "No."
You're self-employed, it doesn't matter. You know, you can
Exactly.
do stuff afterwards. Well, no, actually, I'm taking my business seriously now.
Yeah.
And what are you using then? You talked about your systems. What system? You say visual, but how are you scheduling yourself at the moment?
Oh, I'm still not. I haven't got there yet. So today I was like, oh, I can make the thingy at 10. Great. And then did the school drop off. And then they were like, oh, can you help with the Easter egg hunt? And because I'm a helper and I'm a doer, and, you know, having run theatres in London, I can just delegate, you know, a fire drill. But I was really proud of myself because I went, I can't actually, I've got a meeting at 10. And hang on, so it's my husband.
Google Calendar is a good one. I've only just started using Google Calendars on my phone because I'm very much old school. I do my diary. I love my time out in my diary. I love that, and I still do it. But I'm doubling up at the moment and using Google Calendars on my phone, mostly for my coaching, because people are booking in for, you know, one-to-one sessions or something, and then they can book in via calendar.
Oh, sorry, someone at the door.
Do you need to get that?
No, see, on my priorities, I then put the Nest app on, so I can see the front door and I can choose to answer it. But it's actually my mum, so I probably should go and answer it.
No worries, we'll catch you in a minute if you want.
Just bear me 1 minute, I'll come back, but you carry on.
How are you doing, Penny? Is Penny there? Oh,
Can you hear me? Hello?
Hi.
Yes, good.
I hope everyone's well this morning. It's nice to see so many smiley faces. I'm getting there. I'm a little bit behind, but I'm owning being behind. A bit like Helen. I know that I'm behind, but I'm working on it. So what's happened in the last week? I've had my branding shoot images back, which I'm really pleased with. Yay!
Like, did you go outside or were you inside?
Both. We did a little bit of both. So we did half an hour outside, half an hour inside, with a coat, without a coat, a jumper, t-shirt, you know, a few. So I've got some to use. And she was really good. They really guide you. You know, that's what they do. So they tell you where to look and how to stand, and if something's out of place, which I needed because I'm not a fan of having my photo taken at all. I hate it, like passionately hate it. So that was quite good. I've been in my local newspaper this week. Just a little wedding handout supplement, so that was nice to be asked to be part of that. What else have I been up to? I went and forcefully introduced myself at a TP company open day. I didn't go along as a supplier, but I went and met everybody and introduced myself, which is good. I'm doing it again this Sunday. I'm going to sneak along to something else this Sunday. Client meetings tomorrow. I'm making a LinkedIn strategy, Jen. Get that? Nice. I'm working on, you know, my 3 Gs. So how to get seen, how to get leads, how to get noticed. What I want to put on there, I'm finding hard not to put it as a sentences that start I am, I do, I can. So it's retraining myself to word it differently. I've been stalking a few websites, which is interesting, good and bad. So taking notes on what I really like and making a huge, unrealistic list of all the things I want to change on my own website. My daughter's in media and marketing, so she'll be getting that list to do. What else have I been doing? I think that's about it for this week. I'm trying to catch up slowly on my modules. It's quite nice to keep dipping in and out of the Facebook group to see what everybody else is doing. So I know that, you know, what I'm interpreting and doing is what everybody else is reading and doing as well. So that's really good. So thank you to everybody who's sharing stuff on the Facebook group.
Yeah, brilliant. And did you have any questions for this week?
Say again, sorry.
Did you have any questions or thoughts for this week?
No, I'm fine, thank you.
Perfect. Yeah, Neve? Neve, are you there?
Yep, I'm here. Sorry, I was just trying to unmute. Hi, everybody.
Tell us all about this exciting week.
Yeah, God, it's been a busy week. All my weeks are busy, but it's kind of I don't know, I think my busy is getting different because I'm thinking all the time, actually. Like my head is just like full of ideas and running forward and kind of going, hold on. But I'm trying to keep on top of, I have a few weddings coming up in the next month of 2. So I'm trying to keep on top of that. As well as, like, there's a couple of inquiries, like nothing major, but I did actually get an inquiry yesterday from a Polish girl who has a cousin who's living in Poland, and she just came out 3 months ago and has announced that she's marrying her partner of 3 years. Like, her family's just found out. And I'm thinking, oh gosh, there's a potential market there, because same-sex marriage is illegal in Poland, and we have quite a large Polish community over here. So that could potentially be something. But anyway, that just occurred to me last night, and I haven't even thought any further on that. For
that, it's just a matter of writing a couple of blogs, getting those keywords out there. You know, you don't have to be blatant on your website about that. But if you start talking about it, you know, gay wedding blog, for example. I think there's gay wedding blog, gay wedding directory. Well, there's lots of same-sex blogs out there, people talking about it. So if you want to start talking about it, get your name out there, get those keywords on there. Better than being so blatant on your website that, you know.
Yeah. Okay. I don't have a website yet, so I'm kind of, everything that I'm doing is primarily through Facebook, or direct contact. Although I couldn't resist joining the LinkedIn challenge this week, so that kind of distracted me from what I had originally intended doing this week. So I didn't spend as much time kind of getting up to date with module 1 as I had planned. I'm terrible for making plans and then kind of going off and doing something completely different, or I'm like, ooh, what's that over there? And I get not distracted, but multitasking, but kind of leaving loads of things half done. But yeah, the LinkedIn challenge was kind of interesting, to say the least, and I've kind of made a few updates, but I'm just going to park that for now because I really do want to go back and kind of get my foundations done. And yeah, I had the radio interview, which I was delighted with. I was kind of nervous about it. If anybody could take the time to listen to it and maybe give me some feedback, because they did invite me back, and I feel that I didn't say everything that I wanted to say, and it was very quick, and he was kind of pushing the question, so he'd ask something and then he would move on very, very quickly before I had really kind of answered it properly. So I think I just need to kind of be a little bit more focused for when I go back, because they did invite me back on the 23rd for a longer slot, so definitely they were interested. And I'm delighted because there's nobody else talking about that on the radio. I did try to contact the newspapers, but got absolutely stonewall blank. So.
But keep going with that. You know, you need to be in their inbox a couple of times, so they need to just keep seeing you.
Okay.
3-4 times. Just keep putting yourself in front of their face. Remember that journalists are super busy. So they may see your email come in, they may just ignore it. But if you keep coming in, they'll be like, oh, okay, actually. No.
So would I need to give them something different?
No,
like kind of
same thing. Just go in their inbox a couple of times with the same thing. Because again, they may have 100 things on at that point, or it may not be relevant at that point. But at the time, it may be relevant because they may be doing a story on something.
Okay.
The story works for them. So give it a couple more tries.
Okay.
But well done. What a great week.
If they want me to do a regular slot?
They do?
No, I'm saying, would it be worth asking them? Or I suppose, what would that entail from my point of view?
Yeah, for sure. Ask them. Yeah, why not? You know, put yourself out there. Say you love to talk about this. People are interested. Maybe ask them for feedback as well. Maybe ask them for, do they have any feedback from people who are listening? You know, because quite often they have people call in and things like that, don't they?
Yeah, they did.
A phone in would be great.
And I had asked the girl who was organising the show, I'd asked her to send on that information to me. And then I was thinking afterwards, maybe with GDPR, maybe she can't. She did say that she would, but she hasn't yet. But I'll chase her up on that, because I would like to kind of see what kind of questions people are asking, so I can prepare maybe for next time.
Fantastic.
But a phone in's a great idea, because then people can ring in with any questions, and it makes you the guru on answering all their wedding questions. It's a fantastic opportunity.
My idea of a perfect wedding might not be their idea of a perfect one. Not one for trends or what's the latest colours and all that sort of shite. That's not me. So yeah, I'd be a different kind of wedding guru. Yeah, if you want wellies in a field, yay, come to me. But
that's why you're perfect for it, because you tell a different story.
Just don't use the word shite on radio.
Yeah.
Someone asked a question about the latest wedding colours.
I'll try not to. Yeah, they're shite. Don't use them. Big purple.
I think I might ring in and ask that question just to see if it happens.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
Brilliant. Okay. Does anyone else have anything else to? Helen, did you want to finish off with anything else?
Oh yeah. It was just it's the juggling, and it's the juggling and knowing what can wait. I think I was chatting to another lady on here earlier. It's that, does everything need to have been done yesterday? And that panic, and then gone, actually, I've got this far somehow. So now if I actually put all that bits in place, then it's just planning equals breathing, I think. If I can plan and I can strategize, then I can breathe.
The things to think about is you are your own race, right? You are your own competition. You are putting pressure on yourself. No one else is out there going, oh, when's Helen going to put her next Facebook post on? No one else is thinking about that but you. So if you don't want to do something tonight, you feel like you need a rest time out, then you're the only one putting pressure on yourself to do the work at that point. And I think that's what we all need to be thinking about as business owners. So it's up to you how you put your strategy together. It's up to you how fast you go. You don't need to go as fast as the said competition that you've been researching, because they're on their own path and they suit different people.
I guess so my big question is, so I had a bit of a rebranding session and got a new logo and got a new colourway and had some mood boards. Good. But I haven't launched it yet because I didn't feel I had my strategy and my angle and my niche correct. And what at the beginning in module 1, when you're doing your visual, and I was like, oh, okay, it's all that, which is all my skills. But then having done the sort of marketing exercise, and I open a website, I'm like, oh, that's not me. I'm like, oh, but it should be, because that's what I think I'm doing. So then actually by the end of the exercise, I'm like, oh, I talk to the dads and the husbands way more than I talk to the brides, which really surprised me. So that's going to completely change the voice of my copy.
The voice of your copy, also the potential of your look and feel of your site too. So that is the number one, is finding out who your ideal client is, finding out, doing that ideal client exercise, finding out your...
So is that on module 1, the ideal client exercise?
Module 2. Okay. It's all about brand hero. So you may have seen, Nikki's posted one this week, have a look in the group, going through, where they go for dinner, what job they do they have kids, going through and drilling down in detail who you need to be speaking to. And then that will help you write your content. So then after doing that, you may look then at the content on your site, or the color palettes that you're using currently. You may not want to be using Illuminous, for your colors, because that's not what's going to resonate with your brand hero. So that may help you solidify and clarify that element then of your branding going forward. And I would do all of those exercises before you put your new rebrand out there. Just double check that. Obviously you want to appeal to more than just the man, but your voice may come over differently once you've done those exercises. So I would wait until you've done that.
Yeah, okay. No, that's what I was going to do, but it was that kind of, should I have done that already? And I'm like, I'm pretty sure not. And then it's working out, I guess that's when the exercise of your 6-month strategy, your 3-month, your 5 years, like also from my previous job, I've got a lot of access knowledge. So to do a death wedding and a signed ceremony, or a touch tour funeral, where they go around and they fill the coffin, and they know where the spade is for the hole, all that kind of stuff. So if you're really up for that kind of thing, it doesn't freak me at all. But that again is making sure the lady that I've got to help me with the website knows her accessibility and knows that white written on black is horrendous, blue text is so inaccessible, all those kind of stuff. So I'm just going to be clever. I've got to make it really accessible for my other niche, but man friendly, but still pretty weddings. So the groom goes, "What about her?" And the bride goes, "Yeah, great, fab."
Yeah, and remember, it's got to be true to you too. It's got to be true to you and your personality. The colours that you would use, the colours that you would wear. You've always got to look in your wardrobe and think, "Well, what the house." Don't do a green website. Green branding.
So I missed you then. I heard loads of banging. Sorry.
All right. It's just about the colours, and then in terms of being found for that kind of thing, because that's quite niche as well. There are a lot of deaf couples getting married, or people with other needs getting married. That's a fabulous another area of your niche or your angle of your business. Get that content into your website, but again, it's writing blogs and it's talking externally about those things that are going to get the attention and visibility on you.
Okay.
So think about those elements as well. But yeah, it is a difficult task. Branding is a very difficult task, and it's not easy for me. Branding, I'm struggling with my own at the moment. So I'm having to go through all of that with my own, with the coaching side of my business. So I'm having was going to have a photo shoot today, but the weather is just appalling. I was supposed to have it yesterday and the weather was just awful, and the weather's not good today, so postponed again. But I'm thinking now, who am I? What do I project? Am I these pastel nude colors? No. Do I wear red lipstick? Yes. Do I want to be myself? Yes. But do I also want to appeal? Will that persona, will that person, will that brand also appeal to my target market? And then it's just amalgamating the two and make sure they do fit. But you have to be true to yourself as well.
Yeah.
As well as yourself.
Now, that bit doesn't worry me so much, because I don't think I'd have got through the last 3 years had I not been authentic. So it's just working out how I get that onto a 2D platform rather than just me.
Absolutely, and video content is really good for that too. Startup, if anyone's doing video, make sure you've got a YouTube channel too. That's really easy to do. Just signing up to YouTube. You just need a Gmail account or a Google account, one of those. Google account, which you can sign up to when you log into YouTube anyway, and then just get those videos on YouTube and just make sure you're titling them with those keywords as well. So if you're putting videos, even if you're doing a handheld video, if you're putting that on your Facebook, download it from Facebook and just put it on your YouTube. That's just another way of that getting in more exposure and more visibility.
Okay.
And that's a really great way.
Technical, but yeah, I'll give it a go.
Well, it's not difficult. So once you get going, I didn't do a session on YouTube, but I could do a little session on YouTube and just talk through it. But once you've got it up and running, you literally just upload it. It says upload video, you're just uploading it, and then you're just titling it and adding a description, and it's just a matter of making sure you've got your keywords in there, so your videos are then being pulled through.
Okay.
Search for them.
Cool. It's working out a priority list.
Working out a priority list. It's working out your strategy, getting your foundations together. And make sure you're comfortable and realistic with your strategy. It's all too easy to just think, I need to do LinkedIn now, I need to do this, I need to go meet and and it's all too easy to do it all with no strategy. But if you've got a strategy in place, you're less overwhelmed and you're more focused, and that's what you want to do. And you'll master things better as well. You won't just dip in here and there.
Yeah.
Master it, and that's what you want. You want to master it so it becomes easier. And if you're more visual, then get a strategy on a big paper, do your lines, do your months, and then write in what you're going to focus on, and just make sure that you're just sticking to it.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
And a big calendar too, a big calendar, and then writing, drawing lines in your calendar. I've got a big A3 calendar, that I draw my lines in, and when I'm focusing on things and when things are coming up, especially inputting the weddings in there.
Yeah, exactly. And it's remembering to work on the work I already have, not just chasing work.
Yeah, I found that this week. I had 2 ceremonies to write as well this week, and I spoke to a couple last night. I have 2 weddings on the 11th of May, and I booked one in at 12:30, and the other one was supposed to be at 5. And she said, "Oh, can we push our wedding back a little bit, please?" So she now wants her wedding at 3:30. So there's no way I can do her wedding at 3:30. So now both of them know that I've got 2 ceremonies that day. So that's all, having to move that around and change that plus write ceremony. So it's important to sit, to do your business as well as to work on your business or work on the marketing of your business. Yeah, and get time in for that. Get time scheduled in.
Actually, that's something interesting. You're saying you've got 2 weddings on the 11th of May and you're just writing their scripts now. I was going to ask, actually, how late do people write scripts? Because, having all these last-minute weddings coming up, I like to sort of try and get at least the first draft out a couple of months before the wedding. But sometimes that's just not possible if they're not making their decisions.
Sometimes they just don't put it depends what the couple, a lot of my couples, to be honest with you, they're not bothered about personalized ceremony. They're just bothered about the location. They just want to have it in the said location. So a lot of them just don't put the time and effort into doing the questionnaire, or the questionnaire doesn't suit them, or they're not ready for a phone call yet to go through, about them. And it's just different, isn't it? But I don't mind, as long as it's done by 3rd week in April, I'm happy. And most of the time, they don't really make any changes, just a few updates, so it's okay.
Unless you get I've got a particular bride who wants everything to be, well, it's absolutely right, everything should be just so, but I've sort of made so many suggestions of vows, and she said, "Oh no, I don't like any of those." And I said, "Well, tell me what you do like." And then that gives me a little idea that I can sort of start trying to find, sort of work on writing your vows. But she won't give me exactly what she wants, but she knows she doesn't like any of the ones I've suggested.
Yeah. So this week, one of them wanted hand fasting, a sound ceremony, and 3 readings.
Yeah.
Too long, just too long. I'm like, no, it's too long. You have to just pick one symbolic edition, and the readings are fine, but to have a sound ceremony and then a hand fasting.
Yeah. Normally one mini ritual, isn't it?
And then the other's a script writer, and that's the worst for me. When someone writes scripts for a living, or works in theatre or something like that, it always makes
me I have that. I have like film producers and script writers and producers, and you're like, that's what I do for you.
Yeah.
And you become quite efficient with each other because you know each other's skill. So yes, it's really scary because they're going to look at it through those professional eyes that you've written it in.
Yeah.
But then it's really satisfying when they love it. And I did do a script writer and I sent it over and I was like, let me know any tweaks. And he's like, not touching it, it's perfect.
Oh, that's lovely. Well done.
Yay, thank you.
Right, were there any questions in the comments? Google Diary, gives you alerts. Google Diary is brilliant. And as I say, Calendly is a really good resource. It's something that I use with my couples, and I input there all the times that I'm available. When I get meetings, the Google Docs will update my Calendly. It's called Calendly, so it'll update my
Calendly.
Yeah, Calendly rather than calendar. And then couples can choose what time suits them. So rather than go, "Oh, are you free Thursday night at 7 p.m?" and they come back saying, "Oh no, I'm not free then. I'm free then," or or you're not picking up the phone and speaking to them. It's a nice way of getting the bookings in your Google Calendar. So,
okay.
I think that's it. Okay, I think that's it. Any other questions? Obviously, pop them in the group.
Leave your mics off.
Sorry.
I just have one quick question.
Yeah.
When I post stuff on Facebook, it's generally people that I know who are seeing it. There's nothing like there's no new reach really, as far as I can see. I know I've had a couple of new likes since the radio interview, but other than that, I'm just wondering, am I actually reaching people?
Yeah, see, Facebook is very difficult. Facebook's difficult to grow. Facebook's the easiest one for us to post on and to talk on, but growing a Facebook page is another thing. And they just want you to pay for growth. So, a lot of the a lot of Facebook ads will help you grow your Facebook page, of course. But also it is about that networking. So it is about writing a blog about other venues and tagging them in, which will then give you the extra likes, which will then give you the extra visibility. Because you remember that Facebook doesn't just show your posts to that venue, they will also show the posts to people that like that venue as well, and that's how you grow. So that's how you grow organically on Facebook, but also obviously through ads will help you. And we can start off with ads, £2 a day for 5 days, make sure it's thoroughly targeted, and then you'll see growth, you'll start to see growth. But unfortunately that's Facebook for business, isn't it? And they want you to do that for growth, but organically you can do that through tagging.
What I've also found with Facebook is I've joined, from my personal page, I've joined lots of local Facebook groups, and then I share my business posts to those groups as well. And then you're like the community celebrant as well then, so if they're local Facebook groups. And that has come up with quite a few leads, so that's worked.
And what I did, within the challenge, going into those groups, asking the group leader whether you can talk in there, whether you can do a live about ceremony. No one talks about ceremony, so be the expert in ceremony. And then obviously at the end, people are going to come over and like your page or come and message you about your services. That's a really good way. And as group owners, as I know, you always want content. You always want content in there. So 9 times out of 10, they're not going to say no, because they want people to stay engaged within their group.
Okay. And with blogs, because I don't have a website, I suppose I don't really have a proper platform to post blogs. So what is the best avenue for me to get that kind of content out there when I do write it? Because I was thinking along Glenda's lines about the 5 top venues, and I've actually met with one that's, it's a beautiful venue, Murphy's Barn, which is very close to where I live. And I've already met with the lady who runs that, and I've said that I'm going to do a blog, so I just need to get the finger out and get it done. But where do I then post it?
A couple of things. You can post long content on Facebook. So you can post long content, and they will, there's content on there for people to read. Do you have your domain ready? Do you have your URL? And
no, it's on my to-do list. Yeah.
If you did get your URL and you set yourself up with, even if it's a WordPress free site, you can just click on template, a blog template, and a blog, and it's free and it's just up there now. At least you're getting content out there with your name on it.
Okay.
So you could do that. There's obviously other blogging sites out there that you can use for free. I wouldn't recommend doing that. I would recommend starting on your own site for SEO purposes. You don't really want to be directing people elsewhere, but that's a way of doing it. And then obviously you can share that content over, or writing on other people's blogs is going to be useful as well.
Okay.
Actually, I've got one more question. I've found that sometimes when I write to people on the first time, so maybe following a wedding fair or something, that they're not finding my emails because they're going to junk. And I wondered, and I've actually found quite a lot of your emails are coming to me, they're going to junk, Jennifer. So I'm not quite sure, how do we change that so that our emails are not junk?
What platform are you using?
So that's Exchange, just on Yahoo. Not Yahoo, Exchange, just on email.
Okay, so it's not a Gmail account?
No.
There's a few ways. It's, whitelisting my email address, for example, in your inbox, which means you're adding it to your address. Then,
and that's only if you actually know it's there. That's the thing, because some of these people I've done their follow-up emails and I've not heard back from a few of them, and the old ones come back and said, I just found it in my junk. So I'm thinking maybe I should email them from my personal account and attach the email and just say, not sure if you received this, just resend it.
Unfortunately, there isn't many ways that you can get around that. Check with your provider if somebody's hosting that email address. Check that they have anti-spam plugins on that email address. So do check that with them, which may help. But unfortunately, that's just the way it goes a lot of the time with email clients protecting their clients. So Gmail a lot of the time putting things into junk. Gmail. So yeah, if you're emailing people with Gmail, then if you're emailing Gmail accounts, then sometimes that can happen a lot more than other email accounts.
Yeah, the accounts that I'm emailing, some of them are Gmail, so that's why it's going into. Okay, yeah.
But yeah, do check with whoever hosts your email. Just see if there's anything else that they can do.
Okay, we'll do. All right.
Okay, everybody. Well, have a wonderful day, a wonderful weekend, and I'll speak to you all next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.